Welcome to Spirits and Supernatural. I'm Jenny.
I'm Dawn. We are bringing together a bunch of people again for another fun episode, another special episode for the end of this year. So we're going to talk about supernatural conventions. And of course, to do that, we had to bring in some people, maybe familiar faces, if you've been to a few.
Yeah.
So we have Ed and Cherri from the Roadhouse.
Hey, guys.
They're zooming in from Las Vegas.
From a bar in Las Vegas.
From a bar.
Our bar.
Yeah. And then we also have Robin Phillips from South Carolina. Thank you for coming, Robin.
Of course.
And Kelly Potter from New York City. Thanks, Kelly.
We are literally like across the whole country for this one.
We are. It's pretty awesome.
That's awesome.
We don't... we get excited about things, so...
Little things just bring us joy.
But these, you guys are... Let's see, you guys are big things, but that was going to come out really weird. But then I said it anyhow, so here we go. All right, so this episode is our final episode of 2025. Yay, we made it through the year. This is a special episode we wanted to do because Supernatural turned 20, and this episode is about conventions. Mm-hmm. So we have the experts...
Y'all are the experts. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah, it's not us, that's for sure. That have been to conventions, one or two in their day, and or run some fan pages on like Facebook and that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, we're just going to spitball it and get going. And
let's talk about our drink.
We decided the best cocktail to make that basically, if you could describe a convention in one word, that word would be chaos. So the cocktail we're doing is a chaos cocktail.
So this is going to have 2 ounces of whiskey, 2 ounces of pineapple juice, an ounce of cranberry juice, and an ounce of club soda, which is significantly fewer than that 20 ingredient cocktail.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start mixing and we can start chatting.
I think Cherri and Ed might be making a chaos cocktail with us.
We are... The whiskeys I have, normally I've got like Jack Daniels and things of that nature, but my son wanted me to try a Japanese whiskey, so I'm going to rename this chaos cocktail a Busty Asian Beauty.
I love it. There we go. That's perfect. I'm going to just jump in. Let's start with Kelly. Kelly, how long have you been attending conventions?
My first one was in 2017, so about 9 years-ish.
Okay. And how many have you gone to in that 9-year time frame?
The Vegas one in January will be 50.
All supernatural?
Just creation supernatural conventions. More if you count the non-creation ones.
Holy cow. Do you go to all of them then every year?
No. When I first started, I was only doing like 4 a year. Okay. And then... post-pandemic, that number escalated.
Yeah.
This year was probably the closest I've gotten to all of them because there was only one that I didn't go to. That was not by design. That was kind of an accident. Blame Jensen. It was his fault.
You accidentally went to a convention.
No, she accidentally didn't go.
Oh.
Why are we blaming Jensen?
Because they announced radio company panels for a couple of cons that I wasn't planning to go to. So that...
Oh, we are blaming him before you're going. Okay. I got it. I get you.
Excuse my shaker. It's a little
So
loud.
which one didn't you go to this year?
Minneapolis.
Okay. But I thought they had an RC... No, he showed up at the post-con concert in Minneapolis. Yeah. Okay. There. I got my quota of Jensen talking about in the podcast.
Somebody else brought up Jensen.
Aren't you happy? Bring him up. So I have a theory. The Kelsey brothers do a podcast, and Travis Kelce talked about Taylor Swift on his podcast, and now they're engaged to be married. So I figure if I talk about Jensen Ackles on every one of my podcasts, I'm not going to marry him, and that's not the goal. But the goal is to get to be able to play a game of euchre with him. That's
what
my
she
dream.
Wants.
I want
just to play cards.
Yeah. So there. See, that's my theory. Yeah. I don't. think it'll ever happen, but hey, a girl's got to try. So, Robin, you're next. What year and how many conventions?
Well, my first one was scheduled for April 2020,
Oh,
pre-COVID. Yeah. So it kind of threw everything off. But actually, my first one ended up being in November 2021. So I just hit my 4-year anniversary of going to cons.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as how many, I consider, some people call this girl math. I call it con math. That's something I don't really keep track of, but I did try and look at it when I was looking at the notes. It's about 25.
Okay.
So I'm not going to say that's a hard, fast number, but it's in the mid-20s.
Okay.
It's like I don't add up photo ops, I don't add up autographs, and I don't add up cons because con math.
Oh, okay.
I support you. I support you in your con math.
Yes. It'll depress me.
We don't do math. We don't math well in this podcast.
We don't count
So,
even, really.
Cherri and Ed, prior to the Roadhouse, had you done any supernatural conventions?
Yes.
And-
Yeah. I was just going to the supernatural conventions here in Vegas that Creation was doing, and I started in 2015. But prior to Supernatural Creation, we had actually been going to their Star Trek convention they do here in Vegas. So, like, we've been going to Creation Cons since
2009 was when we moved to Vegas, and we've
Right.
gone to cons since 2009.
And
but only Vegas ones, no traveling.
Okay.
right. We didn't travel for a while.
But you got over that.
We got over that.
We might travel a little bit now.
Yeah, a little bit. So do you do the Canadian ones like Vancouver and Toronto? Do you take all your crap up there too?
Yes, we did. Yeah, we did.
Crap. Yeah, that's a fair enough word. Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's not. I mean, it's lovely. Obviously,
It's
what you
lovely
put
crap.
together. It's lovely crap.
Yes, we filled up our truck. We had everything organized. I think we might have over prepared, but I would rather be more prepared than caught off guard.
Sure.
And we had a ball in Vancouver, and we're looking forward to going back to Vancouver and to Toronto next year.
So, do you do all the conventions now?
We do all the supernatural
That's what I
conventions.
meant, yeah.
Mhm.
We do. We're going to be doing 3 out of the 4 Rescueverse. We're going to be doing
The Broadway con.
Broadway Con, Star Trek, and obviously SPN here. And then
There's one
There's-
more that they haven't announced
there's
yet.
something else that's in the works.
Oh, but we've seen
That-
pictures, right?
Hasn't been announced technically
Yeah.
with Creation. But we work with other companies. So outside of Creation, we do work with other companies and do other conventions.
Do you
and
do
stuff like that.
Vampire Diaries with Creation?
We did for
Okay.
2 years. We're not doing any Vampire Diaries next year.
Oh, okay.
Timing
The-
isn't working.
The timing just doesn't work on that.
Sure.
All right, gotcha. Okay, so Dawn has mixed up our drinks, so we're going to go ahead and do a little
Yep.
clink.
There we go. So we always clink with it. You're going to knock your mic over this
I
time.
know. Thanks. Thanks.
we'll clink
Thanks
too.
for the memories, Dawn. Yay,
Are we done?
yay
Is this it?
conventions. There we go.
Cheers, guys.
Me and Kelly will drink water.
Yeah,
Cheers, you
yeah,
guys. Yeah.
they're pretty.
Jenny, if you were going to mocktail this, did you talk about what you would do instead?
I personally would just do the pineapple, cranberry, and club soda.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, if you're a person that enjoys the taste of whiskey and you want to get a non-alcoholic whiskey, you can do that.
Do that?
But
Yeah. Okay. That's kind of what I figured.
maybe add Sprite if you want to, but I don't think you need to with the club soda. There,
Yes.
that's my professional mocktail.
This is nice. I like this.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't drink it.
Have you already had too much?
I probably
since
have.
we did a little recording beforehand.
In order to want to go to a convention, something had to have been the catalyst for wanting you to go.
For
For your
inspiring you.
desire to want to go to a convention. When did you start watching the show? And was it the show itself that made you want to go to conventions? Or did you like fall into like a YouTube rabbit hole and see panels and all of that? Like what, Robin, let's go with you. What made you decide to do a convention to begin with?
I had started watching the show and like had watched it like probably 3 times throughout. And so then I started checking out YouTube
Mm-hmm.
and I came across Krista and Gail's videos. So both Krista and Gail had posted so many videos, and I was like, oh my God, they actually go to conventions. And so once I saw like what conventions were and how, like, I started researching them, and I immediately, like, I knew, I was like, I've got to do this. So it was definitely Krista and Gail's YouTube videos that got me excited about it and wanted to go.
So I got to ask, was your first convention your one and done convention in your head before you
Yes.
went? Okay.
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
We were all fools. Jenny, I'm going to need Robin on every episode with this accent.
I can do a Southern accent.
No,
if that-
I don't want you to do it.
I used to live in South Carolina. All right. Kelly, what about you?
I binged all of the series to date in the summer of 2016 in about 42 days. I just whizzed through it. Mm-hmm. And I had come from a history of fandom that was always had some sort of in-person element. So I was doing like concert, I was following a band around, and had been in some other things. It was always like going to see an actor on Broadway or something. So I think the convention part sort of came naturally from my habit of fangirling.
Would you say it came supernaturally?
Indeed.
You had to.
I did.
But I also definitely, I can't remember what happened first. If I had seen some of the panel videos on YouTube before I decided to go to the convention, or if I discovered that the conventions happened and then started watching the YouTube videos. But I had definitely seen many of them by the time I actually got to the convention.
Yeah. So for me, I started watching the show February 2023. Binged it in 5.5 weeks, which is close to 42 days. And that was
the end of
like
the story.
February 2023. June 2023, I went to my first convention because they came to Ohio.
And then was it not that following September that we started this podcast?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I was like, no, we started in 2024. We just had our first year.
You're right. Okay.
But I was definitely a one and done because I saw the prices for one thing. And I'm like, well,
Exactly.
yeah, I'm going to go to this convention. I'm going to do everything because I'm never going to do another one ever. And I went to 3 this year. So I got over that. I will not be doing that many next year. But Dawn, on the other hand, went to her first convention when we worked together. Mm-hmm. And I went to work and I said, Dawn, they're coming to Ohio. And so
I was like, I know, I just saw.
Yeah. And we were
I went
desperately
to
looking
one
at it.
convention. So I started like 2011 and watched all the episodes to catch up.
Finished the show.
Finished the show, obviously, like as it went. We went to when they came to Columbus for the first time last year. Mm-hmm. And then my friend Jen and I were like, hey, what if we start this business? And we went to 3 conventions this year, I think. Novi, Chicago, and Nashville. Yeah.
Vending.
Yeah. We started a business and started vending, and we're going to go to Vegas.
Yes, they're coming to you.
We're so excited.
I'm so excited to see you guys.
So Sherry and Ed, I think you have like a party business. Okay, explain a little bit about that and then how you got into the con world with the Roadhouse.
Okay. No, so we have a party entertainment company here in Las Vegas. We do all sorts of things like, paint parties and craft parties and face painting, balloon art, caricature things, all sorts of anything that involves art that people might want in a party. We go ahead and provide that sort of thing.
He's not talking about his favorites, though. His favorites beyond teaching paint parties, he really loves body painting and special effects work and airbrush tattooing. If you guys go look at our website, all the body painting you see on there, it's all his work. He's won awards.
What?
Yeah, he's published in several international magazines and stuff like that. So he's really modest. He doesn't talk about his stuff. But we live in the adult capital of the world. So needless to say, after 20 years in the military, that gives him the street creds to paint naked girls.
So like you paint on the naked girls? That's what you're saying, right?
Absolutely.
He doesn't do.
No, it's not like Leonardo DiCaprio painting like one of your French girls. No, I paint on the people.
Okay.
Yeah, actual body painting.
Have you ever worked like on a movie or a television show where you did that sort of thing?
there's not really a call for me to do that. Well, no, I've done videos.
He's done videos, music videos. We're in a beer commercial.
Yeah,
we are in a Budweiser commercial.
So
is that available on YouTube that we can find it?
We can. We'll probably link it on there. Yeah, that's on there.
Yeah, we need to see that. Unless they're, I don't want to see naked women.
No, he's the naked on that one.
It's for the local hockey team here.
Oh. Did you
there's
paint teeth on them? I just thought maybe. Hockey.
I got it. Okay. I got your joke this time.
Okay.
Yeah, you go.
It's a surreal world being a body artist in Las Vegas, because I can go from doing a children's party and painting Bluey and things of that nature to painting at a strip club in the evening. So.
Please don't ever show up to the wrong party with the wrong supplies. Yeah, that'd be hilarious.
That'd be awful. No, we're pretty careful about that.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I started watching the show while he was deployed. I started watching the show from the beginning, so I watched once a week. And
yeah, and then I would get back from deployment, 6 months later, and she's like, "Oh, you need to watch the show." And I'd be like, "Well, I can't really watch it because they're not on. There's nothing on demand, so I would just catch up as needed then."
But back in 2015, while it was still on, the WB used to do commercials when a convention would come to town.
We still get them on my local TV stations every year for New Jersey.
See, that's awesome. Now, granted, this is the first time they've been back to Vegas since 23. So we'll see if they're going to have some more ads. But I'm like, conventions? And then I went down the rabbit hole and saw Krista's stuff. And yeah, that's all she wrote, folks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got you. That's how I decided I wanted to go to convention, was I started watching Instagram clips, and then I went onto YouTube, and I just fell in love with Jensen, and I could probably stop right there, but Jared and everybody, and then getting to meet them in real life. Let's talk about that. So, Kelly, when you went to your very first Supernatural convention and you got to go up and meet these people, did they exceed your expectations? Did they meet your expectations? You keep going back, so they had to have at least met your expectations. But did you feel like...
Definitely some amount of overwhelm. My very first, face-to-face encounter in a photo op at my first con, I was with a friend, and we were in line for our J2 photo op, and she got selected out of the line because she uses a cane, and they were like, "Oh, no, you don't have to wait in this line, you can go over into the ADA line." So we went from being about 10 minutes away to being about 30 seconds away from our photo and entering from the wrong side. And I went into this photo and it was just Jared's chest, I couldn't even see his face, and it was just this initial impression of, "Oh God, you're tall."
Yeah, you're a tree. Yeah.
You're just tilting my head backwards. But very much enamored, I think, have been my initial impression. I did a couple of meet and greets at my first con, and just that whole experience of getting to sit in a room and absorb the presence was definitely enough to get me hooked. But it did take me a long time before I was ever really, comfortable, to engage and actually, have any type of conversation with any of them.
Really? So not like DJ, the ones that are a lot more accessible. It was still difficult. Like for me, Matt Cohen, he's so easy to talk to.
Yeah.
But yeah, he might not even he didn't always come to all of them.
Matt was an absolute staple when I first started. He was at all of them. DJ was not. DJ didn't come back to the convention circuit until 2020. It was either 1 or 3 because it was a Charlotte one.
Yeah, I would say he was there in 2021.
I was going to say that was his. I think that Charlotte one was his first one back after a long break. Okay. But yeah, I was really, really nervous / uncomfortable talking to any of them for a long long time.
Yeah, no, I get it. What about you, Robin, with your first meeting of any of the?
Well, for me, mine was a little different because since I started in 2021, it was Plexi time.
Oh,
So
Oh.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
you
So
get the
all of my first encounters were through Plexi. So like the first photo op I did was a Jensen op, and I was in line, and like I remember I was probably 5 or 6 people back when I finally got to see him, and I almost died right there.
mhm.
'Cause I was like, oh
That's
my
fair.
God. And like it was so surreal to me because he's so much prettier in person and he's really
Yes.
pretty not in person.
Yeah.
So when I realized that he was so much prettier in person and he's so not like even through the plexi, like obviously there was no touching, but like he really used and like I mean we all know he knows what he does, but like I got the wink, I got the smile, so I was getting the connection even through the plexi. And then like when I did my J2, like because at that time you would tell Shelly what you wanted, she would go over to the other side, and sometimes it would get lost with the plexi and everything. The connections were very different during plexi, but they were still able to like I was still just really impressed by how hard they tried to make that connection.
Mhm.
And then like at autos they had the plexi up still where they were talking, but like for my autos, especially Jared, because Jared, you could tell Jared did not like plexi. Like he just wanted to come right through the plexi. He like I had cons with plexi where like he would touch my hand on the other side. Like he was definitely one that was wanting to break the rules. But so I was very overwhelmed with them. But I always tell everybody I think it might be a good thing that I started during plexi because it kind of like I kind of eased my way in. I started with plexi, then I did a few no touch cons before I actually got to full touch. Because if I had started out with a full Jensen or Jared hug, I might have died. So
That's fair.
Lost her.
We might
right
be
then.
speaking to Robin's ghost at that point.
exactly. So I just kind of eased into it, but I knew, like, I actually called, I think it was my mom while I was there, and it wasn't completely so much the guys, but I knew that I told my mom, I was like, this is my new drug. I found my place. I found my people. Like I connected with people and I realized that there were other people that felt the same way I did. So I didn't feel as crazy.
Mhm.
And
We're
it
all
just,
crazy together.
Yeah,
exactly.
for sure.
I'm like, oh, okay. So, I'm not like insane for feeling this way. And so it was just, I knew after that first one, like I knew, I was like, psh, so much for one and done.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm definitely, yeah.
Gotcha. So Sherry and Ed, since you do the Roadhouse, do you get to interact with the talent very much?
They are the talent.
Oh, you guys are so
What a
sweet.
suck up. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
They're already on the
Oh my
podcast.
gosh.
Well, I'll slide you that later. We do get to interact with the talent a little bit because we do a couple of different paint nights. We paint with Sam Smith on Thursday nights, and we paint with DJ on Sunday mornings. And then we do these really cool like video GIF ops with Sam and DJ. And then we just started working with David Hayden Jones to do those. So they're really cool. We started with Sam Smith back in 23 in Vegas. That's how we all started. And then we did a meet and greet with her at that convention. And Ed might have been a little bit in love with Sam.
Aw.
Fair.
Because Sam is awesome. We think she is the coolest person. I guess this is going to sound terrible. I don't get all goofified, with these actors or anything like that. And we do photo ops and things. I always do it with Ed, or I get another friend or a vendor to do the photo ops with me. And we always go for the gag. I like my hugs, but we go for a dorky thing.
Mm-hmm.
And my favorite op that we did was in Seattle last year. my son, Davis, flew out to visit us and came out to the convention. And we had done a photo op with Jensen and Sam in San Francisco that year with my son and I. So it was like mother and son, mother and son. So I wanted to do one with Jensen, and Chris was futzing with the camera. So we were just chit-chatting, and Jensen was being Jensen and talking to Davis and putting him at ease. And then Shelly told us it was time, and he's like, okay, what do you want to do? And I said, okay, well, we want the smolder. So Jensen gets ready to do the smolder at me, and I'm like, no, at him, to my son. And all of a sudden, Jensen drops into the smolder. My son loses his mind. They take the photo and we walk away. And my son's like, oh my God, Mom, I get it. I understand now. And I just kind of laughed. He's like, I think he's my new man crush. And I said, you mean he's like more than Ryan Reynolds? And he's like, oh yeah, more than Ryan Reynolds. And so, yeah, that is, I think, been my favorite, at least. Yeah, I think that's one of our favorite photo ops. And I just love that they're all very cool and genuine, and they are all about chaos if you want them to be chaotic. And yeah, love it.
Was it in Novi? We did an op with DJ and Jensen. And the whole time that Jenny and I were in line, we were like, what are we going to do for this op? Well, first of all, you just invited me like half an hour before. You're like, hey, you want to do this op with me? I'm like, okay. So we're in line. We're trying to decide what to do. And we're like, we had no idea. Maybe we should just ask them for chaos and see what happens.
It was fun.
And it was. Yeah. DJ's like, I'm just going to do this. And he comes up and like wraps his arms behind me. And Jenny's like, what's happening? And Jensen just splays himself out in front of us. And I thought it was hilarious. It's our cover photo on Facebook.
Yeah. And then in Novi too, my husband went with me, and I think this might, I have two favorite ops, and they're both in Novi. I pulled Cliff in. Everybody knows who Cliffy is, right? And so it was the one where I was hugging Jensen, and my husband was like reaching to me, and Cliff was holding him back. And I love that one. And then my friend Theresa, 3SA Photography, we did one together. We did our Robson together, and it was like the first time they had offered it in Novi, and they entitled it called The Boys because both Jensen and Rob were on The Boys. And so we came up with this brilliant idea because they both showed their derriere, etc., and the boys. And so we got these smiley faces and had the boys hold them over their
behind
tushes while we stood there going, oh, like that. And so that one was so much fun because we had to explain to them why.
I love that.
Yeah. And when we got in line, we're like, we want to hold, and it's Kelly, right? I think, is it Kelly? Shelly. Sorry. She goes, well, you can't hold them. And we're like, oh, it never even occurred to us. We would not have tried to cop a feel. That never even crossed our minds. But when she's like, you guys can't hold those, we're like, oh, we were so embarrassed because we're like, we didn't even think about that. But we had explained to Rob and Jensen, like, what are we doing?
Cover your butts, guys.
Yeah, because you showed it. So anyhow, that was my favorite one. I think it was a lot of fun. But no pun intended. With the conventions, a lot of people get to meet up with friends that they have just met through like Facebook or whatever, and they get to meet for the first time at a convention. Has that happened to you, Kelly or Robin? Have you gotten to meet people that you've like connected online with, and then you get to meet them in person at the convention?
Well, Robin and I met face to face in Nashville not too long ago.
Well, same here.
Yeah.
I met her in Nashville too.
And we're like, oh, hey, we're going to do this thing.
To say, I think technically Robin and I.
There are so many people. If I met you and I don't remember, I'm sorry. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Yeah. They're like, oh, we had a deep connection with Dawn and she doesn't remember.
Oh my gosh, I'm so bad. Listen, I met a TikToker, and when she first walked by our table, I was like, that's not her. I didn't believe it. So, who knows?
I think for me, like tons of people, like really that I've connected with on Facebook. Because for one thing, like I run a a J2 group. And so a lot of people that are in that group and plus, like I tell everybody, like I plaster my photo ops all over Facebook just because I'm that kid. Like I love it. So anytime I post like in a group looking for a ticket or looking for a photo op or anything, I put the pictures for attention because I'm like, oh, they're going to want to see, if they see Jensen or Jared, they're going to stop and read this. But so I plaster my ops all over Facebook. So a lot of people will come up to me and they'll be like, oh, are you Robin? It's so nice to meet you. So like I've met tons of people from making connections like on Facebook. I've met some people that, it's gotten to the point now where, I've known them for, let's see, I went to my first one in 2021. I started talking to people like in the fandom, maybe in 2019. So I've got some people that I was talking to on Facebook since 2019 that I started meeting at cons. So I've got tons of friends that we started out as Facebook friends. And then I met them and they turned out not to be serial killers. So,
that's
always
great. Nice.
At least not at the con. So,
right. Well, yeah, that's true.
I mean, have you tracked? Has anybody ever done that?
Somebody write that book. That would be such a good book plot.
Like, yeah, at all the different conventions. And then it's got to be one of the celebrities that's doing it. All right, we got this. Anyhow,
okay,
sorry,
so
that's just a side note. We'll take care of that later. So, Robin, I was specifically told to ask you when we're going to see pictures of the scrapbook that was given to Jensen.
My goodness. I really need to. Okay, because the thing is I want to make sure that I give the post like what it deserves, like the attention that it deserves. Like I took the pictures. I literally took the pictures of the scrapbook in the hallway or like the stairway of the hotel while I was waiting in line for Jared. I also want to be able to share Jensen's reaction respectfully.
So just a little, so the people that are listening have no idea what we're talking about.
I vaguely heard about this. So yeah.
There was a TV show this summer called Countdown. I might have mentioned it once or twice on the podcast. And it
18,000 times. But...
Shut up. And this, it actually has not gotten picked up for season 2 through Prime at this time. And hashtag Save Countdown is still going on. And maybe somebody else will pick it up. But regardless, we made a scrapbook for Jensen and wanted to tell him thank you for Countdown and for Mark Meacham. And several people were part of that. And Robin was able to compile pictures and et cetera that people had sent to her, and she gave it to Jensen. So that's what we're talking about. So
yeah, there were probably over about 300 and something people that sent things in.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I had a lot of other people that told me that they wanted to do something, but they really just didn't know what to say. And, other than, I just wanted him to know that I love him and that I'm proud of him. So like I included that part in the scrapbook, but like the announcement of the cancellation was on the 19th. I thought of it, I think on the 21st, and the Friday night at Nashville until like 4 a.m. I was still finishing up the scrapbook, but I finished it up.
Yeah.
Before
yeah. So anyhow, that's what that was about. So, so I kind of lost what I was thinking about because I got sad thinking about Mark Meacham.
I was just thinking about some of the posts that Kelly makes in the convention groups leading up to a convention. And Kelly, you kind of do like a countdown how-to, or like, here's information about this thing at the convention. Is that something that like you found a need for, or how did that start? Is that a big question?
I think it came about kind of after, it was a combination of after adminning one of the convention groups that was for one of the brand new cities that had never had a convention before. So anytime they do one that's in a new city, there is a ton of first-time attendees. You get a lot of people who didn't have the means to travel to a convention. And it was combined with coming back after a year and a half or so with no cons over the course of the pandemic, and a ton of people discovering the show on Netflix while they were stuck at home. So you had a ton of new attendees in general. So there was just so many, there was always questions about like, how does this work and everything. But what I had started to notice was that people that were asking the questions were coming from such a lack of knowledge, and the people that were answering the questions were coming from a place of, I've done this 15 times, and they weren't meeting in the middle. So they were giving an answer, but they weren't giving an answer that was understood by someone who had no context whatsoever for what they were talking about. So after doing that first one, I was like, it would probably be more helpful to go about this proactively and try to proactively go, here's information on stuff you didn't even know to ask the question about because you've never done this before. So in some trial and error I started with a bunch of very long-winded guides on a whole bunch of things that are kind of static documents. But I found that a lot of people just ask the questions anyway. So it was like, okay, how do we make this more bite-sized and try to go, this, and this, but also generate some excitement for the convention and use it as a bit of a countdown. And
I would completely agree. Like last year, as being completely new to Supernatural conventions, when your posts were coming up about like, this is how photo ops work, like me and other Jen, there's Jenny, and then I have other Jen. She and I were like, did you see this post that Kelly made? Did you read about this? So this is, and we would like talk about it because we had no idea what we were doing. And I just found it so helpful. So from all of the newbies, thank you.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Absolutely. And I appreciate that you have continued to do it. And you're very patient because there are a lot of repeat questions. And obviously you've answered the same questions because especially with newbies, you're going to get the same questions over and over. But then there's people that sometimes, are redundant and repetitive. They're repetitively redundant. And they keep asking the same thing. And I think sometimes they're just not happy with the answer you're giving. And so, but you're very patient and very kind, and I appreciate it.
I think you're totally right. I mean, sometimes it is just, sometimes I want a different answer. Yeah. I'm like, sorry, that's the way it is. That is, in fact, how it works. And some of it, too, is just in the overwhelm. People just forget. And they ask a question and then don't remember that they asked the question. My philosophy is always everybody's new once and coming at it from a place of, anything.
Yeah, you were there.
Yeah, everybody's got to learn sometime, and it certainly helps. The only ones that I ever really get frustrated are the ones that are asking questions that are, you don't need to ask. Like the information that is just on the website. Like
how much
very
is a ticket?
Easy to find. Exactly. They're like, I'm not a substitute for just reading the basic information on the website of how much is the ticket, what hotel is it at, or the ones that are nothing to do with the convention that are just, you could use Google. It's like there's a lot of the things that are about like the city where the convention is, that is like, this isn't, you could actually probably find a better answer to some of this stuff just on a travel site about visiting this particular location than you could asking in the convention specific group when you're trying to figure out stuff about.
So Kelly, you said, you went to the RC panel in Novi, right?
I've been to all of the radio committee panels.
I'm so jealous. I'm the person that asked Jensen about wondering why.
Oh my God. I am so upset I was not at that one.
Yeah, it really sucks for you.
When I found that out, I almost died. I had such FOMO. Oh my gosh. I was so upset.
Sorry. No, I'm not sorry. I'm sorry you weren't there.
Sorry.
I'm sorry you couldn't
so
make
happy
it.
For you.
But
yeah,
it was amazing.
I was devastated. I'm
going to live on that for the rest of my life.
I have a question for Ed and Cherri, because we all kind of see this from like a vendor side, a kind of a vendor like out in the vendor's room side for me, or like from the fan side. But you guys do something different with doing like your crafts and different things that you have in the Roadhouse. So do you have any like favorite moments or unique experiences that you would want to talk about
Or can
talk about?
Or can? Oh, goodness.
Body painting? No, I'm kidding.
We don't body paint at the cons. If somebody asked us
Short
to,
of
we
airbrush.
would, but no. Gosh, our things, our experiences come out amazingly positive in the Roadhouse, because so many, we've certainly got regulars who we see every year or multiple times a year who always get their Roadhouse weekend pass and come back in. We've had our normal things come in from the paint parties, where people are all like, oh, well, there's no way I could go ahead and do this kind of a painting. And people can. And that's normally what happens. We get the people who are so surprised, and we hear them later on. They're like, yeah, I have my painting hanging up in my family room. And people are like, oh, who did you get to paint that? And they're like, no, I painted it. And they're like, no, you didn't paint it. And we're like, yes, you did.
When we came at creation with the idea of the Roadhouse concept, they had already agreed for us to go on the road with them to do paint nights. And I hit them up with this concept of a creative maker space, because there's so much, for the average person, there's a lot of downtime. And we wanted a place where people could get away, where it's a little bit quieter, where people could get their creativity on. I am the first one to promote all my vendor buddies. You guys are all so talented, but sometimes people, maybe they're on a budget, maybe they're not, but there's something about making something to take away with them. So we do these small, like 8x10, they can do paintings in there. And we encourage people, if they did a paint night, or if they're there and they're painting, get that, show that off, get it autographed. What a memory is that? You get to stand in front of Jensen and show him. I'm going to use a young lady, actually from Nashville. She did a painting which was cut in 4, and it was Jared, Jensen, Misha, and Mark. And it was very pop art looking. And she went and had it autographed, and the guys were flabbergasted that she had done that. She used a stencil, and we showed her how to do it, but she created it herself. And that's where I am. I'm all about creativity and about being safe. Sometimes you need a place to break down. I'm not going to lie. One of my favorite things that happens is that if we're right next to the photo op room, I get to be the person. I'm going to cry. I get to be the person that maybe a first-time con goer who just saw Jensen for the first time, they come in and they want to hug me and they want to tell me about their experience. And that, I remember my first experience and I'll never forget it. I like being a safe place. I like being a place where maybe, Supernatural, man, we're each other's found families. Maybe you don't have a family that really kind of understands where you're coming from. And I like to be that family. I'm a mama bear at heart. By the end of a weekend, I'm hugging people and taking selfies with people. And
they're giving us art that they've made to us. We've got it out there in the Supernatural room.
I have stuff that people giving me. The first time somebody asked for our autograph, you could have picked me off the floor. I don't think I'm important. Okay, that sounds terrible and self-deprecating. I'm not an actor. I just run a craft room,
I'm going to just reinforce, you do have such mama bear vibes in Nashville. I got super overwhelmed because the pre-registration line was right in front of our table. And we were trying to set up. And I was just like, I cannot right now. Like, I looked at my watch and my heart rate was sky high. And I was like, this is too much. Where's Sherry? And I did. I went to find you because I was like, if I can just get a couple minutes in the Roadhouse room that I know is going to be chill and I can get a Sherry hug, I'll be okay.
I'm all about it. If you know people, I had a couple of people in Nashville actually walk fans into our room. And Robin and Kelly, if you guys see this happening, do not hesitate to send people to us. There are people out there that do fan support,
I still have breakdowns after some of my ginseng off, so I may come in there.
You come in and see me, 100%. And then I want to see the photo afterwards because I want to fangirl too. I want to be you look amazing. Oh my God, he's so pretty.
He really is.
I will tell everybody. People are like, "Are you Jensen? Are you Jared?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm totally a Dean girl." If you talk about the characters, I'm a Dean girl, and I'm catch curious because I love a bad boy that redeems himself at the end. But I'm a Jared girl.
He's so precious.
Jared is just, that's a whole nother story. But there's a lot that Jared and I have in common. And Jared means a lot to Ed because Jared really supports the military and he supports the USO and he supports activities that are very near and dear to our heart. Mm-hmm. So this fandom, it might have saved my life. So I want to be there for other people.
That's amazing, Sherry. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I'm like, when Don and I said we're going to do this podcast, we're like, well, Ed and Cherri are coming. It's going to go off the rails immediately. And
that's literally, I was like, that might get a little wild.
Yeah. And that was I hope you took that as a compliment because that is what it was meant as. Uh-huh. Because you guys you're hilarious and you're fun, but you are genuine. And for you to open up and share like that, that's part of why people feel safe around you because you're not going to look down on them. You're not, no. You find the common ground with them and you're able to be that safe space. And thank you for sharing that. I appreciate it. Mm-hmm. But we're willing for you to go off the rails at any time too.
Hey, if you want us to come back and we'll go off the rails. We'll make drinks and
next time you come to Lima, I will come to my house.
I will teach you my favorite drink and
okay. Well, and you can come to the fancy studio next time you come to Ohio.
Awesome. And you all know you're welcome to come visit our bar when you come to Vegas in 2026.
I will be there.
You won't be at her bar though.
I mean, I'll come to your bar if you invite me to your bar.
You're more than welcome. I have a very large house.
Will you? Oh my gosh. And they do body painting.
I won't let Ed body paint you unless you ask.
I won't let him.
He's just like this rogue body painter.
Like I show up with an airbrush.
They're just at breakfast eating some bacon. And he comes in. And she's like, no.
This is the plot for a book. You were talking earlier about a plot for a book.
It's the serial body painter.
Oh my God. Okay, someone needs to fan fiction that.
Oh,
oh my gosh. Okay.
That's wonderful. I am so glad that you all were able to join us today. This was
perfect. This is perfect. This is our last episode of the season, of the year, and it's perfect. It's actually, what number is this, Dawn? How many did
30
we do?
something.
30 something.
It's not 40 yet.
No, I don't know.
We're bad at counting, con math or whatever.
See, exactly. You just
we can't do it. Yeah, I had it written down and then I got off of it. So 37. We did 37 this year. That's pretty good because we only do it twice a month. So
37 total, not this year.
Oh, well, because we started in September, so in 15 months we did 37.
Yes,
smart aleck.
Okay.
All right.
Should we rate this drink?
Yeah, we're going to rate our drink, our chaos cocktail.
Oh, my gosh.
And Sherri, you can join us
on
with the rating. So this is how our rating works. We go by how well did this fit our topic? And our topic was conventions. And I think a chaos cocktail fixed pretty darn
by
good.
Name. I think so.
What do you guys think?
I think it's great. Ed's is empty. Mine is almost empty.
Mine's bad.
I was trying to save mine.
Hers is empty now. Thank you, Ed. He finished hers.
He just emptied it. So, you guys, cheers. Happy holidays.
Yeah. All right. So, you guys give it a full. What we do is we give a swig rating. So, you give it a full swig for. Does it match the topic? Chaos.
Yes.
Convention.
Full swig.
Full swig.
Full swig on match. Awesome from everybody. I love it. The ease of making. I thought this was easy to make. Did you think it was easy to make?
I made it. It was simple.
There you go.
I watched you make it, and it was easy for me to watch. So, yeah.
On on taste, I would give it a full swig. You can still taste the whiskey, but it's not overpowering.
It's overpowering, so I'm going to give it 3/4.
Jenny.
It's a lot for me.
Yeah, for me, it would be 4. Sherry actually likes to drink sweeter, so she added another shot of pineapple juice.
Sherry's my girl. I would have liked more sweetness to it too. So, are you going full swig or 3/4, Sherry?
I'm going to say half on taste until I added extra pineapple.
Okay.
Well, that's fine. So, what do you rate your drink that you made? You give it 3/4 then?
I'm going to give it a 3/4. I'm going to give it a 3/4.
I'm all about bumping up the score when I can.
I keep scratching stuff out on this.
You're fine.
Okay.
And it's mocktail. I think it's highly mocktailable with the juices and the club soda, right?
Yeah, I don't think it's hard.
That's
at
our
all to
fine.
make.
So I think that gets a full swig on mocktailability. You agree? So how'd we do?
It'd be great with vanilla ice cream in it.
Oh, we're going to
if you
go
want it
to
to
Ed
be
and Cherri's for a chaos cocktail float.
I feel like we should point out that what they actually made was the Busty Asian Beauty because they had the Japanese whiskey. So we're rating a chaos, and they're rating.
They're rating a Busty Asian
You
And they're
always rate Busty Asian
But if you
Beauty
go
higher.
to his house, he can make you a Busty Asian Beauty.
Oh my God.
Paint you.
Nobody's ever going to want to come and visit us now.
You're going to get a certain group of people
Yeah,
who are
there's
interested.
What
gonna
happens
be
behind
people.
the scenes at the Roadhouse anyway?
Oh my gosh.
Roadhouse
Stay
Unchained.
Roadhouse After Dark.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. All right. So, does anybody have any other words of wisdom about conventions you would like to share?
It can also be words of dum-dum.
Hey, you didn't look at me when you said that.
Are you
Thank
proud?
you. I'm so happy.
I do have something that I would like to add that I always try and tell people is not to compare their con experience to anybody else's con experience.
Yes, that.
Yeah, that's great.
Because I mean it's different for everybody. If you see something that happens with somebody else and you want that to happen to you, it's setting you up for failure. That's why I mean I've gotten to the point where a lot of my personal stories I don't even necessarily share because I don't want somebody else to feel like the experience there, because it's our natural tendency to compare. Like if somebody says, oh, Jensen winked at me, and then they go through the line and Jensen doesn't wink at them or he doesn't do something. So just don't compare your con experience to anybody else. We all con differently. There's something important, because for me, I typically only do J2 stuff, but all these actors, they're amazing. Matt's amazing, DJ's amazing, Sam's amazing. It's not that I don't love all of them. It's just not the way that I particularly con. So between that and another big thing for me is don't con shame. If somebody has 5 photo ops, they have 5 photo ops. Everybody's con experience is different. So just don't compare yours to anybody else's.
I have something I need to add because this is perfect time.
Okay.
I actually had a little exchange with Catherine Boker, who played Lilith. And I told her, this was in our comments, and I said, you should come to conventions. And she said, I would love to. They need to invite me. So I'm putting that out there right now to all the listeners and my mom, that if you could email Creation at guests@creationent.com and request her, because she would like to come back to the conventions. And I think that would be so cool to get her back in the convention circuits.
Jenny just secretly actually wants to meet every person who was ever on the show, I
I
think.
really, really do. And it's not a secret.
Be awesome. Yeah, I was going to say.
I have a really cool poster that I made, and I want them all to sign it. So everybody, flood Creation with the emails. Let's get Catherine back on the circuit of cons.
Okay.
The con circuit.
That's the word.
Yep. All right, Kelly, Robin, Ed, Sherry, it was awesome. Thank you so much. Any of you are welcome to come back at any time. And truly, if you come to Ohio,
Come to the Polka Dot Studio.
come to the fancy studio. It's fancy.
And polka dotted.
Shut up. All right.
Not just like the motels.
This
Perfect.
will be the 18th
Oh my gosh, she can count. We're so good at this. The 18th, and then we'll have a new episode on New Year's Day.
We're going to do angels on New Year's Day. All right, guys. Thank you so much. We truly, truly do appreciate it. And I'll be in Ohio, and I'll be in New Jersey next year. So
Awesome.
make sure that I see you guys then. Yeah.
See you then.
All right.
Bye. Take care.
Bye.